Welcome to the Lifeline Health Lecture. Our title today is Heaven's Gift of Sunshine. Heaven's gift of sunshine. Well, isn't it strange that most of us look at the sun as something dangerous? When God made the lights of the firmament of the heavens, when He made the moon and the stars and the sun, He pronounced them good. And yet, nowadays, we are very often really scared of the sunshine. Is the sunshine something good or is it something bad? Well, I hope that after this lecture, you all will be able to make your own get to your own conclusions. Now, life on this planet without the sun would be absolutely impossible. But no doubt, we need to be careful with the sun. It is a blessing, but it can also, in times, hurt us. And we should really try to protect ourselves against excessive sunshine. And like this little boy here using these sunglasses and a hat, that's great because we want to protect our head from excessive sunshine because the heat might damage our brain. And we also want to protect our eyes. But I do not recommend to use this kind of plastic 50-cent glasses because they will probably hurt our eyes more than what the sunshine would. So if we do want to protect us against the sunshine, we should use something that is adequate, like some good sunglasses, and if they were made by a professional, especially for our eyes, that would probably even be the best. But let's get good sunglasses to protect ourselves. But now, let's have a look at what the sun can do for us. We got a little petri dish here, and you can see that on one side, you got a lot of bacterial growth. And on the right, there is nothing. On the whole petri dish is covered with a nourishing solution so that the bacteria would have something to eat. But you can see that on the right-hand side, there is no bacteria at all because the sunlight was getting or covering this area, while on the other side it was in the dark, and so the bacteria grew very intensively there. And this is something that we need to know, that sunlight will kill bacteria. It is very important for our home. We want to allow the sunshine to get into our home so that it will sanitize our home. And we can also use this fact of antibiotic action of the sunshine. We can also use that on our skin. For example, when we have lesions that don't heal too well. Sometimes we have lesions that have kind of gotten very old and they look like they'll never heal. Well, if we expose them to the sunshine, it will very likely help because the sunshine would start to kill infections that we might have in there. So the sunshine has a wonderful effect against germs because it will kill them. It will also condition our skin. And you can see if a person has been out into the sunshine, we have a nice ting and our skin is usually moist and soft if we don't overdo the use of sunshine or influence of sunshine on our skin. And it's very important. The health of our skin is something very, very important because it is practically the biggest organ in our body. And the skin is our third kidney, and it helps our lungs. It helps us to detox. And so it has a lot of very vital functions to fulfill. And we definitely want to keep our skin in a very good condition. We want to have a nice thing. You can sometimes see when people have been sitting too much inside and in their office and have been hiding from the sun, they get like kind of pale and white, and you can see that the skin doesn't look very good. So let's try to get a little thing on our skin so that it will be healthy. It will also increase our moods. We have spoken, when we spoke about exercise, I explained to you that doing exercise will increase our mood. It will help us to fight depression and anger and all these kind of things. And sunshine does the same thing. So we do exercise out in the sunshine, we would have a double effect on these, with these two natural remedies. So it will definitely increase our mood. It will make us feel better and happier, and will be much friendlier. Now, these picture here, really just looking at it makes you depressed already. But you know, I was born and I grew up in Germany and I was educated there, and so I lived about, less than 1/3 of my life I lived it in Germany. And I still remember in autumn, because I'm from the northern part of Germany, where in the winter, and especially in autumn already, the days become very short, and so we don't get much sunshine. And even when it's daytime, we have a lot of fog there, and so the rays don't really get quite through to us. And then we get depressed. We get really depressed, and you don't feel good anymore. You don't feel like you want to be very active. So against depression, sunshine is a real good remedy. And we need to remember that, because nowadays we have a lot of people that suffer from depression because of the accumulation of acids and toxins in our body, and because of all that stress that's going on around us. Then also, sunshine is very good to fight osteoporosis, because sunshine produces vitamin D in our skin, and we need this vitamin D to deposit calcium in the bones. So when you suffer from osteoporosis, I've already said that before, probably several times, because I think it is very important, because there are so many people out there that suffer from osteoporosis, and now it's not only women after menopause anymore that have had half a dozen of children. Well, this kind of women hardly exist anymore anyway, but now we have already children, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and they already suffer osteoporosis because they drink so much soda, which makes them, a soda will make you 100,000 times more acidic than what you should be. And in the lecture on the pH, you will be able to find out the details on it. So children are already suffering from osteoporosis nowadays. And what do we usually do? We take a calcium pill. Calcium pills that usually don't even work, because it's calcium that we cannot digest and absorb. And even if we would, then the body could still not use it if we don't get enough sunshine, because that's the only source we really have for vitamin D, the only natural source. So sunshine is very important if we suffer from osteoporosis. Let's get plenty of sunshine and also exercise to work against osteoporosis. Here we have some bones. These are children bones. On the left hand we have the normal bone, and on the right side we have a ricket. And that is because of the lack of sunlight because of lack of vitamin D developed. And I have seen these problems quite often, especially in the tropics, because in the tropics, usually people are very concerned about the children. They don't take the children out to the sun because they think they will get sunburned. Well, we do need to take the children out to the sun. And if you don't take them out at noon, well, that would be okay, but take them out early in the morning or take them out in the evening if it's high summer or if you are in the tropics. But we do need to get the children out into the sunshine. I've even heard children blaming their mothers for like kind of bent bones, leg bones or whatever. And they blame them, oh, my parents, they didn't pull our legs. Well, it doesn't have much to do with pulling the legs. It has to do with getting enough sunshine. So let's get the kids out there, the babies out there. They do need the sunshine. And also for us as adults, it's very important. Let's try to get our sun baths every day. And if you not so lucky to have one of these comfortable things to lay in, well, you might just want to go for a walk out there and use the time also to do your exercise. But we do need to get sunshine, and it's not only for the vitamin D. We need also sunshine to produce melatonin. Now, melatonin is a neurotransmitter, and what it does, it makes us sleep. So if we get a good amount of sunshine during the day, then our body will produce quite a bit of melatonin. But the melatonin is not produced during the day while we receive the sunshine. It is always produced at night while we are sleeping. But if we get the sunshine in the daytime, then we will produce at night a good amount of melatonin, and we will be sleeping very well. So if you suffer from insomnia, for example, then also get a good amount of sunshine, and also do some exercise. Remember when we spoke about that? So get exercise and get sunshine, and you will be sleeping much better. You know, the problem is that usually the older generations don't get that much sunshine anymore because we are too lazy or we are too busy. I've seen retired people that are so busy they can't even understand how others find the time to go to work. Of course, they don't have no time to do exercise. They're much too busy. What they do, I don't know. I hope they know what they're doing. But anyway, but it's not old people. Everybody needs to get the sunshine. And if we are at work, well, that's fine. As long as I said already, if you need to get your exercise, you have our exercise, well, leave your car 3 or 4 blocks away from your office in another parking lot and walk 15 minutes to the office and work 15 minutes at night back. Hopefully it is daylight and you will get the sunshine. So it's very important that we get this sunshine, and it's especially the older people that suffer from insomnia because they do not get enough sunshine. When we look at the children that are out there all the time playing, well, that's probably history now too, because nowadays our children are not out there playing anymore. Now they play inside in the living room with their computer games and stuff like that. Of course, that is very bad. That's not good at all. So the children need to get out there. And even if you allow them to watch TV or play these quite unproductive TV games or computer games or whatever they are, I don't even know what they're called. I've never played this kind of game in my life. But anyway, so whatever the children do, we need to make sure that they get some good time out of doors, that they will spend some time in the sunshine. And then you will see they will just sleep like bears, because they will produce a tremendous amount of melatonin. And children usually produce so much melatonin. If you have been with them out there on the beach and you drive back home, they already sleep in the car, and they won't even wake up when you take them out of the car. So the sunlight is something very important, and it has so many different health benefits that we really need to pay some attention about getting enough sunlight. It will also strengthen our immune system, and of course it will strengthen our immune system, because if it will condition our skin, which is such a big organ. Our skin has to do with the elimination of toxins, with the inhalation of oxygen, and it will help us with so many different things, like producing the vitamin D. So if our skin is in excellent condition, already that will help us to strengthen our immune system. But then also the sunshine will help us to kill bacteria and any kind of other germ that may be on our any part of our body that is exposed to the sunlight. Then it will alleviate pain. If you have pain, like for example arthritis pain, if you have pain in your hands, expose them to the sunlight and get out on the sunlight. If you have back pain, then let the sunshine heat your back, and it will definitely help you with your pain. It will lower blood cholesterol, and it will lower blood pressure. Of course, these two things, they go hand in hand. It will lower the blood cholesterol because the vitamin D that the skin produces under the action of the sunshine is made, the vitamin D is made from cholesterol. So if you get out in the sun and you get some good sunshine, then the body will use cholesterol to produce the vitamin D. And if we get the cholesterol levels down, then of course we will also get the blood pressure down. And also our blood pressure may come down because the sunshine has a very relaxing effect on us, and it will make us feel very good. So all these tightness will leave our body. So we can see that the sunshine really has a dozen and more wonderful health effects on our body, and we should never underestimate its effect as a natural remedy. Whatever problem we have, let us get exposed to the sunshine. Well, you may say now, well, but what about the cancer? Doesn't sunshine produce cancer? Well, let's have a look at the sunshine and cancer. First, we have two different kinds of cancer here. One is squamous cell cancer, and the other one is basal cell cancer. Squamous and basal cell cancer. 90% of all the skin cancer consists of these two different skin cancers. And the good news with these two skin cancers is that they will not spread. They are local. So if you get this cancer, they will definitely not hurt you very much, and they definitely will not kill you. But if you expose yourself too much to the sun, and if you try to start looking like a black man, then you are overdoing it. You are going to damage your skin. We should not be doing that. And the result of that may be, in first place, it may be a melanoma. Now, melanoma, that's what it looks like. This is a skin cancer that is very dangerous. And this is definitely, it will definitely kill us if we do not get it under control. So we have to do something about it. Once we have it, we would do best to go and see a physician. No doubt about that, and I am not allowed to say anything else but that. So you might have to go and see a physician. But you can, in a great way, avoid this kind of cancer, and I will be explaining that in a minute, because there is no need for us to get this kind of cancer. I would like to go back to it a minute, and because I would like to mention something. You might have heard about the ozone hole that we have over the Antarctic. Now, the Antarctic is the South Pole, and during the winter months we have the big ozone hole there. And that is allowing the ultraviolet beta sun rays to come through onto our planet Earth, and that is producing skin cancer. So this is a very real situation for especially South America and maybe also the southern parts of Africa, and because it's on the southern hemisphere. And I have heard from physicians in Latin America that have confirmed that yes, we have an increase in skin cancer, especially in the rural population, especially in the farmers, and especially the older farmers. Because you know the hats with the shield that they have here in the front, the older farmers, they will have the shield in the front of their hat, while the young ones usually turn it around and then they have it in the back. So the skin cancer that is increasing in the rural population in Latin America is skin cancer in the back of the neck. And we could avoid that if we cover these areas. So if you just use a little hat, then turn the shield to the back, and if not, use a bigger hat that will protect you on both sides. All right, so this here is something that should really not happen to us. We should never get sunburn, because every time you get sunburn, you're going to damage your skin and at least part of the skin. And we have fat glands, oil glands in our skin that will help us to maintain the skin nice and moist and flexible. And if we get burned like this here, then we are going to damage these glands, and they may stop working. They might not do too well anymore, and then this here would be the result of it. You will get a very, very wrinkled skin. Now, I didn't know about all these things, and I lived for 21 years in Latin America, and I love to go on Saturday and Sundays. I love to go out to the beach or go out to the swimming pool and just lay in the sun and just fry myself in the sun, because I was proud of these very good tang or dark tang that I would get then. And so I definitely damaged my skin with that. So I have quite a few wrinkles myself. And that's what's going to happen if we overexpose ourselves to the sun and if we get sunburned. We want to avoid that. Now, there is something else that we can do to avoid problems with the sun, especially the cancer. Because, see, the cancer has increased. There is no doubt about that. People did not suffer from melanoma some decades ago. And nowadays we do suffer from melanoma, and quite a few people suffer from it. But the sun has not changed. The sun is the same. It has been the same for thousands of years. So why should we suddenly suffer more from cancer than before? I personally don't believe it has anything to do with the sun itself, but it does have to do with our foods, with the foods that we eat. And if we eat high foods high on fat and high on protein, if we eat all these animal foods, these foods in themselves already can produce cancer, and research has demonstrated that over and over. So all these animal products, just by themselves, can already produce cancer. And of course then, if we now get overexposed to the sun and we use a lot of these animal products, then we will definitely provoke a cancer on our skin. So let's try to avoid these high fat and high protein foods. Then we should replace them with antioxidant rich foods. Antioxidants are the good guys in our body. They will help to protect us against everything that comes in there bad. It will help us to protect us against what we call the free radicals. Now, these are toxins and other substances that are produced in our body partly, but also come from the outside, with, for example, all these food additives that we have nowadays. I mean, just look, if we have a slice of bread nowadays here in the U.S., look at the label that you will find on any bakery product. You will find like 20, 30. They have about 40 different chemicals that are proved to be added to bakery products. And if you look at the labels, you will see it. There's a whole list of additives and things in these bread. While it should only have 4 different ingredients, you would probably find 30 to 40 different ingredients there. And all this works as free radicals in our body. Now, let's try to contrast it, or even better, let's try to avoid the whole thing. Let's not eat any bread that we have not made by ourselves. So let's get some bread that does not contain any additives at all. Of course, it is very difficult to get, I know, but, well, let's do some more cooking and baking at home, because if we spend all our time out there working to make money, and we don't have no time at home to take care of our health, what do we work for? Because if we give up our health for the money that we are making, then later on we might or we might not have money. But even if we have it, we can't buy health with it anymore. It's impossible. So let's watch our health, because it is really the most precious thing and valuable thing that we have nowadays. So here we have an idea about the antioxidants. These are the part of the antioxidants, like vitamin C and vitamin E. Vitamin C is in fruits and vegetables, and vitamin E is also, but it's oil-soluble vitamin, so we will find it in plants where there is oil. For example, in nuts, and also the greens. The greens have oil. Most people can't imagine that they do, but yes, they do. Greens have a good amount of oil in them. So let's eat these foods that contain antioxidants, and to help ourselves to not put the body into a position where he cannot defend itself against all these bad influences, and even against maybe an overexposure to to the sunshine. So let's have, like this family here, let's have some natural, good foods that do not contain any additives, any chemicals in there. And that is the best defense that we have. But also, of course, like I said already before, the vitamins will help us a lot to avoid disease and to avoid skin cancer and other kinds of cancer. But one thing science has demonstrated very clearly: you cannot take pills to replace the natural vitamins. There is no way. It does not work. In fact, there are lots of studies out there that show that if we do use these vitamin supplements, that in many cases the cancer risk is increased instead of reduced. And there have been several studies done on women and also on men that they have broken them up before the time, because they could already see that they were creating problems with it. Now, what is the appropriate amount of sunshine that we need? Well, that's a good question. We do not need all that much time. We usually need somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes of exposure to the sunshine. And you don't have to take your shirt and jacket off. 22 minutes to 30 minutes exposure to the sun of your hands and your face is already enough. That will already produce enough vitamin D for you. So 20 to 30 minutes. Now the interesting thing is that the different people from the different races need different times. For example, the white Caucasian people are the ones that need less time of exposure to produce vitamin D. The Hispanics need more time, and the black people, they need the most. So if your thing is very dark, then you might need up to 45 minutes of exposure to the sun per day in order to get all the benefits possible and in order to produce enough vitamin D. So we need to take in consideration the thing of our skin. Now, amazing sunlight benefits. Let's have a look of. All right, so these, what I just presented to you, were benefits of the sunlight. And now let's understand the personal tolerance of the sunlight. I don't think it is good that we protect ourselves with all these sun lotion that is sold out there, because these sun lotions contain chemicals that are in many cases worse than the effect of the sun. So we don't want to use sun lotion. We can use some hats and some glasses and things like that, but the best protection against sunlight is if we get ourselves used to it little by little. And we need to know our personal tolerance. How long at a certain time of the year can I expose myself to the sun without getting burned? So this is an experience that we all have, and I believe that probably everybody already knows. Well, in the summer, I can only go out there for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes, and then I have to put on a shirt. If not, I might get sunburn. So we need to know our tolerance, and we need to take care that we will never get sunburned. And believe me, it's not only Caucasian people that get sunburned. I have worked in Africa for several years, and I know that even African people, with very dark-skinned people, they will just as easy get sunburned. So sunburn, the personal tolerance is really something that we need to know. We need to find out how much we can tolerate, and then little by little we can increase it. But we never want to get to the point where we get these very dark tang, as the guy on that chair on the beach that I showed you before, because that is definitely dangerous. And then whenever we want to go out let's say on vacation or whatever, we should try to expose ourselves before to the sun, so that when we have the opportunity to be for a longer time out in the sun, that we have already conditioned our skin, so that we will not get sunburned. And I would like to mention something here that is very interesting. I've seen a report on research that was done on cancer. And what they did in this research is they selected many thousands of health professionals that had all about the same educational level, the same social standard, the same, more or less the same income. And so there, in this area there was no difference with them. And they had Caucasians and Hispanics and black people. And they observed them over a certain time to see who would develop more cancer. And it was interesting to find out that the Caucasian were the ones that would get less cancer. The next ones in the line were the Hispanics, and the ones that would get most cancer were the black people. Now, they studied all different factors that could have been involved, but they were always the same education, the same social standard, the same income, about the same diets. And so the only difference that they could find in these three groups was the amount of vitamin D. The Caucasians had the highest amount of vitamin D. They were also deficient, because let me tell you, there is hardly a person right now that has sufficient vitamin D in the body. So the Caucasians had the highest level of vitamin D. Then in the middle were the Hispanic, because they are of a little bit darker tang, but not as dark as the black people. And then the black people had the lowest amount of vitamin D. And it is believed that the amount of cancer, that the occurrence of cancer in these different groups had definitely to do with the amount of vitamin D in their blood. Nowadays, doctors recommend over and over vitamin D pills, vitamin D supplements. And I'm not a friend of recommending this, because I like a natural approach. And there are really no foods that will supply us with vitamin D. They say, oh, the cow's milk contains vitamin D. Yeah, I've heard the dairy industry say that, but then the dairy industry, we can't trust them anyway, because they tell us a lot of lies. And they say that milk is good to for calcium supply in our body, which is absolutely false, because even though the milk contains a lot of calcium, but the calcium that is consumed by the high amount of protein in our body is more than what it will deliver us. So that is a deception anyway. And I don't know how much I would trust them with vitamin D, but even if there was vitamin D in an important, or let's say in a bigger quantity in the milk, I'm sure that it will be destroyed when they pasteurize the milk, because pasteurizing the milk is heating it up. And if you heat up vitamins, you know that they will be gone. So really the only way that I could think of to get enough vitamin D is to expose yourself to the sun. And we should find a way how to do that. Even if you have your lunch in the office, outside in the yard or whatever, but we need to expose ourselves to the sunlight because it has so many wonderful health benefits that we cannot afford to be afraid of the sun and skip it totally as most people do. Well, a few minutes a day for vitamin D. All right, I think I got a little bit advanced to these slide here. And this picture here has to do with the melatonin, because I would like to remind you that if we get a good exposure to the sunlight during the day, then at night when it is dark, we will produce a good amount of melatonin, which will make us sleep. But if we have a light on in the room, you will not produce melatonin. So we do want to keep the light off because it's only produced in a dark room. And some people even sleep with a TV set on. And that is even worse. So let's sleep in a dark room in order to produce a good amount of melatonin so that we can sleep well. And then we need to open our home. I said that already before too, because what does the sunlight do? Yes, it will sanitize the inside of our home because it kills germs, right? So the sunshine is really something that we can also pronounce good, just like God did, because it has so many different benefits for us. Let there be light, and there was light, and God saw the light, that it was good. That's Genesis 1, 3, and 4. That's where God declared the lights to be good. And let us not be afraid, but let's be cautious. Let's use a good diet of vegetables and fruits with, let's eat it raw so that we get all these vitamins and enzymes in there. And let's stay away from all these fatty and greasy foods. Let's stay away from all the factory foods which contain a lot of chemicals in there. Let's especially stay away from all these fast food foods. So, friends, if you want to be healthy, you can be healthy, but you have to make certain changes in your life and in your lifestyle. And as I always like to say, if you want to get the results that you have never obtained, then you have to do things that you have never done. So expose yourself to the sunlight, but knowing what you do, and get the right time, get used to it, go on the right diet, and keep your body in good condition, and you will see how healthy you will be by using this wonderful natural remedy. Thank you.